What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. TJ, what's going on? Mark, what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Adam, what's going on? Crip, Vin, how's everybody doing today? All right, I was making sure my audio was good. I think we're good, guys. So I hope everybody had a great day today. What do we have? Today's Thursday. Little kind of a boring day today, right, in the charts. But you know what? I think we've all been so used to just such big movement that I told you guys we're gonna have days where we're gonna have just not serious price action. But let's check out to see what's going on with the charts. Obviously, Milady, BP, what's going on? So obviously, let's just jump right in at Milady right now. We are currently sitting at around about 65, 66. We have had a nice little cool off. And I say nice, it really is nothing much. I mean, if we map it out from the top right here, from the 72 mark, from where we're at right now, we're about 8 or about 10% down from the little local high that we made right here, right? But if you really think, we were bouncing really around the 7 mark the whole time, right? Pretty much the 7. So I mean, really from yesterday, we're only down about 6.5%. So everything is still perfectly fine. Honestly, I've had this descending triangle as of yesterday, as we started making these little highs, and we kind of, since that local high that we made around the 72, 73, we have been slightly, you can see going down in this descending triangle, this channel. Basically, you guys know I love to call it a bull flag, right? So hopefully this is going to be playing out for our advantage, where we could see some kind of a nice breakout here coming out. I think, Bitcoin right now, you could look at the charts two different ways, right? First is I did do some research today, and I found us some solid support and resistance levels that we're going to be talking about here. Basically, as we continue to move up, what we have to look forward to as far as resistance. We'll get into that in a minute, but today you can look at the charts, right? We obviously had a nice spike up right over here to about 52.8, almost 52.9, right? Almost coming up to this spot for resistance, and pretty much right before we fell short, got rejected. And you can see we kind of, since then, been on our way towards the downside. But one thing that I do want to point out that was pretty bullish today was that this dark red right here is going to be our 200-day SMA. We bounced almost cleanly off this 200-day SMA. This was just recently, probably about 2 or 3 hours ago. We did find some support eventually right here at this 200-day SMA, right around that $51,365 mark to be exact. You can see this beautiful bounce, and since then we have been slowly but surely trying to retrace. We are getting stuck around this 52,000 mark. Remember, before we even hit the 52,000 mark, I already had this line up, and I was like, this is going to be a spot that's going to be a big spot for us to keep continuing to retest, because most likely we're going to get rejected. Well, you can see this was a few days ago. We already talked about this. We hit our head multiple times. Looked like we were going to get rejected and start heading towards the downside. And then eventually we broke up towards 52.5. And you can see we started using the 52S support. 52S support. You can see multiple times we bounced off of it, right? Actually, I'm sorry. This is the 51.7 that I'm talking about right here. The 51.7 we were using as support. But we were slowly but surely breaking that 52 here and there, showing us that it was not confirming that we were going to sit on the 52 as support, right? So that's why we saw the breakdown today. We broke down to about 51.3, like I said. Since then, right here, this was a pivotal spot. This was like I was watching it as we went, and I was like, this has to hold. This 200-day SMA, this is obviously on the 15-minute right here. And I was like, this has to hold. If we break through this, I don't know exactly where we're headed, but we're going to be on our way towards the downside, most likely retesting 50,000 clean again, but we didn't have to go through that yet, right? Now, you guys know, I always tell you guys this, a healthy dip is perfectly fine. I mean, just remember, Remember how fast we moved up to 52,000. Just 10 days ago, a week ago, we were at $42,000. So we jumped up 20% in this last week. We easily can do that again. So if we do see any kind of retracements, a 10% retracement or anything like that, it'll be perfectly fine in the market. Now, with that being said, obviously you can see Milady, she's going to have a little bit more dramatic moves, right? But for what we saw today as far as Bitcoin, retracing a few percent, Milady honestly held pretty strong. Like I said, we're down maybe 6% for the day. Honestly, it's basically continuing in this descending triangle, playing out the way that I think we're going to see, to where we're most likely going to be maybe chopping around here for the next few days, and at some point we are going to see some kind of a breakout, and we're obviously going to be breaking through these local highs right here, the 72.6 to be exact. So honestly, the markets still look perfectly fine. Everything looks great. We're going to have days, where it's going to be flying, and we're going to have some days where it's just going to go back into these boring modes, and today really wasn't too boring, but it was just a kind of a, nothing really much is going on for Bitcoin or Milady. Some other projects actually not doing too bad, and we'll check them out right now. But just going through the chat real quick, just to say what's up to all my people. Craig, what's going on, brother? Prodigy, yo, I've decided to go now to 3K worth of Milady. I hit my first target today. Nice, bro. And you picked a good day. Remember yesterday, some other people were asking, as far as Milady, and I was saying, you know what? Honestly, if you have patience, you might be able to wait for the next few days. We might have some kind of a, some kind of a little cool off period. And that's pretty much what we're seeing right now, right? I mean, so always, like I always say, have patience, right? Have patience. Even when you feel like you're missing out, and we're pumping, there's always going to be days where we're going to retrace a little bit. Now, we're obviously, I don't see us going back down to some of these levels, particularly if we do. Honestly, you guys know how it is. It's perfectly fine in my eyes. I'll continue to buy in. Obviously, we don't, it's good to see our portfolios, though, getting beefed up, right? So if we were to have a retracement back to some of these levels, it's kind of it's a mind game, right? It's a mind game because you're like, damn it, we're back to where we were, So it kind of plays tricks on you. But remember the long picture that we have going on here. Remember the goals here, right? This thing is not going to be just an overnight project. The markets aren't going to just go up to 100,000. Bitcoin's not going to go to 100,000 overnight or in a month, right? It's going to be nice days. There's going to be bad days. But at the end of the day, if you zoom out, we're on our way towards the right direction, right? So everybody just be strong. We should be good here. Craig said, I noticed that earlier I can't do TA, but looked like a flag. Exactly. There you go. See, Craig, you're learning, bro. You're learning from the channel, dude. Nico said, what's up, Milady Army? Randy said, ladies. Adam, what's going on? Adam said, I am buying more tomorrow. Nice. And Kaktoshi, that name, bro. That's that name. Let's go, Miladies. Manix, keep buying it when we can. All right. So jumping on to the market cap. So we did drop below 50 million again. Perfectly fine. We're back at that $48 million mark. Perfectly fine. But I mean, I can't express it more. We're gonna be okay, right? If anything, like some people are saying in the chat, it's just giving them more opportunity to continue to add to their bags. Real quick, make sure you guys hit the like. We got 20 people who are in 5 likes. Don't take this dip out on me, all right? Don't take it out on me. I'm still here, trying to give you guys hopium because we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it through here, right? 60,000's on the horizon. New all-time highs for Milady is on the horizon. You heard me say it. I guarantee it, guys. But it's just not going to be overnight. But we're going to be perfectly fine. Let's see here. So looking at the crypto bubbles, you can pretty much see this is what the market looks like today, right? It's just like some projects aren't doing bad. VeChain has been killing it in the last couple of days. VeChain has been killing it, looking pretty juicy. Luna Classic is up 10%. I always tell you guys with Luna Classic, when the market is having like a cool off, it's like people jump into Luna Classic and start pumping Luna Classic. I don't know what it is. But I mean, if you really look at the bubbles, this is for obviously the top 100. We like to just look at that. The top 100, you can see it's almost split down the middle. Almost like 45, 65. Does that even equal out to 45, 55? It's been a long day again. But, it's almost down the middle, red to green, right? Up and down. But, you see the ones that are in the red, they're really not, in the red. Beam has been having such a crazy month. You're looking at Beam, looking at the week, you can see this thing has been just straight pumping. So, going on a little retracement, a lot of major projects are doing that. So don't feel like if this is a Milady's thing and Milady's is the only project that's just not pumping today. It's not correct, because look, let's pull up Solana. Solana today is down 0.5%. It was down like 3% earlier, but it's starting to retrace a little bit. But you can see, look at Solana's chart. It's definitely pointing towards the upside, right? But you're going to have these cool off periods as we move up. So, like I said, just don't get discouraged. Continue to dollar cost average in if you're able to. And let's keep the goals, on the front sight, and just know where we're headed. Now, a couple things that I did want to point out for today's video is first, the market cap. We are literally right at 2 trillion for the market cap for the whole market. And you guys remember yesterday, I was talking about Bitcoin hitting $1 trillion and that possibly being some kind of a resistance level. Well, was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? The whole market cap could possibly be actually hitting their head right now, where we're gonna have to maybe keep testing around that 2 trillion mark for us to break. You can see right now we are at about it says 1.8. No, that's not correct. 1.94. Let's see. We also have it on this chart right here. So we're at 1.95 trillion right now, right? We're right under that 2 trillion mark, and I think it's going to take some more, obviously more money, right, to break that. But we're going to need more momentum in the market for us to really break that 2 trillion mark. I feel like that 2 trillion mark is a pivotal spot for the crypto market. You can see in the bull run for the last bull run in 2021. Believe it or not, we actually got up to $3 trillion. I thought we got up to like 2.5. I didn't realize that we actually got up to $3 trillion. So I'm expecting this next bull run to exceed that 3 trillion mark and go somewhere around possibly $4 to $5 trillion. And I think a lot of it is going to flood into obviously Bitcoin. But remember, Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you something here in a minute. But remember, Bitcoin, right now, the dominance is around 52.2, right? Down a little bit as of yesterday. Yesterday's Bitcoin dominance was around 52.5. And a altcoin season, I'm going to show you guys. An altcoin season, let's see here. So this is the dominance right here for the whole market. The dark blue is going to be your Bitcoin, right? Well, if we go to 2021, look right here. You see this big dip right here in this chart? I don't know if it's small for you guys, but look at this dip right here. This was 2021, right? Now let's look and see what Bitcoin's dominance was. In 2020, it was at 62%, right? Well, let's get over towards the end of 2021, somewhere around where the bull market was. Look where Bitcoin's dominant was. Bitcoin's dominance was around 40%. This is December 2021. This is right before we jumped into the bear market. And why do I bring this up? It's because I want to point this out, that when we actually get into an altcoin season, Bitcoin's dominance is going to drop significantly. We're going to see Bitcoin's dominance getting down towards the lower 40s. Right now, Bitcoin is dominating the market, right? With over 50% of the market cap it's holding on to right now. So I'm just telling you guys, it's not there yet for any of the altcoins. It's not there yet. You still have plenty of time. Like I said, you're going to have at least until probably May to June, most likely, until we're going to really start seeing the altcoins going absolutely parabolic. Until then, it's Bitcoin's time. It's going to be Bitcoin's time. We have April halving coming up. Bitcoin's going to continue to build and build and build. It's going to keep the market up, right? It's going to bring the market up, but I'm not expecting to see a lot of these altcoins to just start breaking out and going 200-300% as of now. Now after the halvening, we're gonna probably see a sell the news event. I'm thinking May, June. We're gonna have that May. Obviously, we're gonna have that Fed meeting. They're gonna end up reducing interest rates, not by much, but the fact that they're gonna start reducing is gonna be a bullish thing for the market, and we're gonna get right past that sell the news event. And alts, I'm telling you, alts are gonna start going crazy after that. So I'm predicting somewhere around June of this year is when we're gonna see altcoins start taking off. That's my prediction. That's my prediction for right now. What are you guys thinking? Let me know in the comments. But for right now, looking at the fear to greed index. Fear to greed, you guys can see, you see this spike right here. This was in December of 2023 that we just got out of. That was when Milady was making these, when it went on its pump and it made its last local high, right? And that's when a lot of altcoins were going absolutely insane. We jumped into that extreme greed. Well, look where we're at right now. We spiked up and we're about approaching those levels again, somewhere around the 80 marks. Right now we are at around 75 for fear and greed. We are approaching that extreme greed. So usually a lot of times when you see that chart start jumping up towards the 80s and we get into the extreme greed, that usually means that the market is probably a little bit overbought, So like I told you guys, we're going to continue to move as far as like probably getting back up into this extreme greed as we approach April. I'm expecting some kind of a small but decent size cool off, sell the news event for Bitcoin. And then from there on, most likely we're going to see some kind of just a fast parabolic move after this happening. So that's pretty much what I'm predicting for right now as far as what the markets are going to be doing. But up until, now to April, we're going to continue to move. We're going to have, like I said, we're going to have some days where they're like today, and then we're going to have days where it was like a few days ago where, we're having great days, right? We're up 10-15% and we're moving. Like I keep telling you guys, the main thing for these pumps right now are going to be, where are we finding support? Where are we finding support? And you can see this is for the last, 2 months. Last 2 months, you can see we bottomed out as of now somewhere around that 47 mark for Milady. And you can see we have gone on a nice run. Looks like we possibly, as of now, maybe bottomed out on this move right here at around the 63. If you guys remember yesterday, now it's like I'm starting to think remember. I remember calling it yesterday that if we did see a cool off, it was most likely going to be somewhere around this 0.5 fib at around the 63, 64 mark. And that's pretty much what we hit earlier. 64.3 is what we hit. So everything is still, going exactly to plan, right? Everything's still going exactly to plan. I've told you guys this plenty of times. Today we're seeing a decent little cool off. Not a bad time to DCA if you feel like your bags aren't, chunky enough for this next bull run, So let's see here. Craig said, we need Milady to eat that zero for good this time. And Craiger said, what's up? MX, what's going on? Astra said, did the amount of golfers increase? Let's see here. What do you mean by golfers? Did the amount of golfers increase proportionally with the price rise? Oh, did the amount of holders? I was like, is that something that I don't know about? Golfers? Is that like a Milady's slang or something? Let's look at the holders for right now. So you can see we are steadily climbing, but it's been slow pace. I honestly feel like Etherscan is like delayed. I honestly feel like it's delayed. Either that, or everybody that's eating up the dip or that's been buying in, it's been the same wallets, the same 17,500 wallets that we have open. Because you can see we are up every day when we look, it's up like a 0.0 couple percent. Not even a couple, 0.0 like, remember, that's not even a percent. It's a fraction of a percent. We usually are up. So, at least it's not down, but it's like we're gaining like maybe 5 to 10 wallets a day, so it's still slow pace, very slow pace. This number is expected to just start climbing like crazy after we start pumping. That's how it works every time for most projects. The holders will the wallets really will start climbing. Like you'll see them jumping up by the thousands as the price range or the price of the actual coin or token that you're looking at or that you're invested in is increasing in price. So right now, the fact that we did see this nice little increase, that was just telling me that was mostly you and I, right? You and I and everybody else, all the other 16,000 other people that are out there that hold on to Milady. That's the people that are actually buying in on these dips and just keep adding to their bags. So like I said, it's gonna be epic when we jump up and we're like 50x, 100x, and these solid people that we've been in right now, this 17,000 plus people that are just loading to their bags, and we're selling to the other 100,000 people that are now buying into Milady when it's already skyrocketed up 50 plus x, right? It's going to be epic because, like I said, at the end of the day, that's the goal. It's for us to buy low right now and sell to everybody else that could be here right now, buying in, but they don't know about the project, or, they haven't stumbled across it, or it hasn't come across their radar again, right? Unfortunately, you guys know how it works, and it happens for me too. There'll be projects that you see and you're like, you see them, you know about them, right? But you're not really too interested in them. And then they start going crazy. They start pumping like crazy. People start talking about them. And now you start looking into the project, right? But now the thing is already shot up like crazy. Well, me personally, I don't buy in on those projects. It happens to me all the time. And I'm like, damn, that project, I remember looking at that project when it was down, at this certain number. And I'm like, well, that's good for that project, right? I don't buy into it. But there's a lot of people that aren't like you and I, right? There's a lot of people that see that and they're like, holy crap. And then they start wanting to buy in on the project because it's moving, So good for them. Hopefully they jump in, when we're at 100x and, maybe they make some good profits as well. Who knows? Because, 100x right now for the market cap from where we're at right now would technically only be at $2 billion. Think about this. If like, let's just say myself, I have 100 billion, Milady, right? We get to $2 billion market cap. And I'm like, you know what? I've made my bag is freaking in the green like crazy. I'm up 100x. I'm going to sell, right? Someone buys that bag, and let's say this thing rides up to $5 or $6 billion. They're still going to make another 4 or 5x off of that, right? Obviously I miss out on those profits, but I'm up 100x. Right? So I'm going to sleep perfectly fine at night. The other person that just bought in because this thing is all, is being driven by hype, they make a 4 or 5x, more power to you, right? More power to you. We just want to make sure that we're not the people that were buying in at Shiba or Dogecoin when it was at $80 billion, when Shiba was at $40 billion, because those are the people that are like, screw crypto, right? Because they bought in at the top. They bought in when the thing was so hyped up, not knowing that this was buying in, at the tippity top, and there was nothing but dropping down from there, so. But you learn from all those mistakes, right? So let's see here. Astra said, we need to win Pepe and Dog with Hat holders to come invest in ladies. And it's funny because those probably will be a lot of that same crowd will probably be transitioning into Miladies eventually. But I will say Pepe, we're going to look at Pepe right now. Let's see here. Kaktoshi said, we are the pioneers. We are the pioneers paving the way. You are correct. Pepe, actually, now that you brought up Pepe, I think Pepe was up today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at this. So Pepe, you can see, let's move this fib retracement over. I haven't looked at Pepe in a little while. But you can see Pepe actually took a little dip. It topped out over here. This wasn't the all-time highs, but you can see it topped out right here, and it eventually dropped down to the bottom of this fib retracement, somewhere around the 80 mark. You can see that it basically regained to zero. You would think that would have got eaten up, right? Well, it regained to zero right here. It got eaten up, but it was short-lived. sold off, and you can see it found some kind of a bottom right here at the 80-87 mark, and from there on it looks like that was the bottom for now, and this thing has been steadily trying to make a move back up. Pepe, like I told you guys, the market cap for Pepe is back down to like around $200 million, so it's relatively small. So I'm telling you, Pepe is probably setting up for a big run in this next bull run. Let's see here. Craig said, "Ladies is sneaky. Something about it. She'll blow up in the bull run." Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why we're all invested in it, right? We know that this thing's gonna take off here in the next bull, and then when we get into a solid bull run, right? So really looking at, you guys can see my screen over here, I hope, right? On the bottom, this is our watch list, and you can see Bunk is down 0.7. Heroes of Mavia down about 2%. This thing's been going crazy lately. Swiftcoin down 0.3%. PRQ, Craig, at 16 cents, still holding pretty strong though at 1%. Myro had an epic move this morning. Did you guys catch Myro? Myro jumped up to I think it was like 11 cents. Yeah, almost 12 cents this morning, right? I was like, damn. I was itching to sell. And I was like, nope, because I told you guys in the stream yesterday, I was like, I'm going to freaking hold on to Myro till it gets close to $1. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to freaking hold on to it. I don't have thousands of dollars into Myro, so I'm like, whatever. If it drops back down to 5 cents, I'm just going to buy more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really flipping out about it. I wasn't like, even though that I was a 2x, a little bit over 2x, it's not, to me, it's play money, right? It's just play money. I don't want to lose the money, obviously. I always want to gain, but at the same time, it's not like I was up like a few $100. I wasn't going to be like, oh my God, hit the sell button, get my money and run. I'm out of here. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. I was like, I like the fact that it's showing me that it's coming back alive, right? But I was like, it most likely will find some kind of a top, and it did. It was like right around 12 cents today, and you can see right now it's sitting at around 10 cents. So I mean, it's not like it's like shot down, anything or anything like that. But I mean, from its high today, I was watching it, and I did feel that urge to want to sell just because it was like my portfolio was, like I said, it already doubled 2x for me, right? So you kind of get those urges where you're like, shit, I want to sell. But I remember telling myself and telling you guys yesterday, I was like, you know what? I'm holding. I'm just going to hold this thing and see what it does, right? I'm going to just hold on to it and see what it does. I just pointed out a little bear flag that I think's kind of starting to form with Myro. So we'll see how this plays out. But regardless, unless this thing shoots up to like 30 or 40 cents out of like really fast, that's the only time I most likely, will sell, just to basically take those profits and then throw it all back in whenever we see some kind of a retracement, right? So I can like maybe 2 or 3x my portfolio for Myro. But other than that, I'm not really worried about, like selling as of right now. I'm just going to let it do its thing. So let's see here. TJ said Myro killed it. Astra said, but how can we trigger the hype for Milady? Honestly, I have no idea who the Milady team is and how they engage with the community. Any thoughts? So Astra, I will tell you, excuse me, you guys I always refer back to Dogecoin, right? I always refer back to Dogecoin because it's very similar. And hold on, I'm going to take a sip of some water. Gotta stay hydrated. So back in 2021, early 2021, before we really started taking off, it was like this was the same question that came up. It was like everybody was like, trying to promote Dogecoin to like everybody, right? Like everybody in because I'm like real big like on Facebook. We'd have like the Dogecoin pages. It would be like 100,000 people in each page, and it would just be every day. It would be like, everybody would be like, make sure you tell everybody when you go to work, to the gym, about Dogecoin, and we were all like, yeah, and it's like almost like you were a salesman for Dogecoin, right? Everywhere you went, if crypto got brought up, it was like, well, have you heard of Dogecoin? And you're like selling the product to somebody, right? What I'm getting to is, I don't think that was a bad thing, but at the same time, I don't think we had any kind of we didn't really have anything to do with why Dogecoin pumped, right? Really, what helped Dogecoin was just natural building up, natural hype being built up, and obviously it had Elon Musk tweeting about it every like 2 months. Elon would come out with something with Dogecoin, right? To keep it relevant. For Milady's, it's a little bit different, right? We obviously don't have Elon actively tweeting about Milady's, right? But really, it's not tweeting about anything. Our Elon isn't, right? So a lot of these meme coins that you've seen shoot off recently, are all just really trying to build their own hype. And I've been saying this for a while for Milady, is I think for Milady, I know, is that we're going to naturally just continue to build, right? And that natural hype is going to get behind Milady, but it unfortunately, the way it works, and not unfortunately for us, but unfortunately for everybody else that's not in the project now, it's going to come across their desk at some point, right? At some point, Milady's is going to be pumping. Their favorite YouTuber is going to start covering Milady's. It's going to be on the top gainers for whatever exchange they use. Binance is going to list it. Something like on those lines, right? Or all that above is going to happen. And that's what's going to build hype for Milady, right? It's going to be a natural growth. So, going out and talking about Milady to everybody not a bad thing, right? But you probably could just save your breath, because at the end of the day, it's going to happen naturally. It's going to happen naturally, right? So now, do the dev teams need to be more engaged? Possibly, maybe. I think that right now, because if you look at their Twitter, they do post a lot of just their NFTs and stuff like that. I think that it's just, right now they're kind of like what I said. They're just letting the project kind of naturally just do its thing, without them trying to artificially build it up, or them like, just anything. Like trying to say that there's any kind of like, Milady's is partnering up with this people or that people. They haven't got to that stage yet. I was saying this the other day, and I've said this plenty of times. As we build up as a team, this happened with Shiba and Doge. As we build up, market cap builds up. Eventually, the devs will start getting very, very serious about the project in regards to implementing kind of utilities, staking, stuff like that for the project. We will get there. I know you guys hear this, and I feel like it's like a gimmick to say it, but we're early in this project. This project just came out in the May of 2023. It hasn't even been a year yet. We're approaching a year for this project. Think about that. We're very early. This market cap is so small. Milady hasn't even been through a bull run yet. That's what she's approaching now. What we don't know is what is this project going to actually do in the next bull run. I mean, the gains are going to be endless, is what I think, and what a lot of us think, right? I think that this project is showing some strong characteristics, how like what Doge and what Shiba did back in 2020, 2021, and I think just you do your part by just dollar cost averaging in, adding to your bag. If this is something you believe in, and just let it just naturally do its thing, right? Let it naturally do its thing. We're gonna get to where we want to be. Now let's see here. TJ said, if Myro hits all-time highs again, my credit card bill will be fully paid. Nice. There you go. That's some goals right there. And Myro all-time highs are not far, right? All-time highs right here are about 26 cents. If at around 12 cents that we were at today, not far. I mean, what is that, like 60-70% move right there? All right, maybe a little bit more, 120%, but it really is not much. This project, again, for Myro, the market cap's so small, this thing could jump up in like a few days and be right back up there. So definitely. But, looking at a lot of the projects today, what I'm trying to tell you guys is, every day today was one of those days where we didn't crash. We didn't see anything too crazy happen, but it was just a kind of a blah day, right? Nothing too much. But the fact is that Bitcoin is right now still holding $52,000. Think about this, guys. Think about just a week ago where we were at. We were at $42,000 to $44,000 just a week, maybe 10 days ago, and we're up $10,000 on Bitcoin. Bitcoin saw one of the biggest weeks it's seen in a long time, up 20% in the last week. We are perfectly fine. We are perfectly fine. Like I told you guys, I've been telling you this for the last few weeks. Don't expect Milady to just take off as of right now. Let Bitcoin do its thing. Let Bitcoin do his thing. All the alts are kind of just hanging tight, letting the big guy in the room get all the shine, because he's the one that's building the whole market for us. He's doing everything for us, right? And that's Bitcoin. And you can see she's just chopping around in this channel pretty much. She'll break a little bit below, found that support at the 200 SMA, which was very bullish, and you can see she'll break a little bit above, not ready yet to jump up towards that $53,000 to $55,000 mark, but she will be. Still right now to this day, I'm still holding my expectations, or what I'm predicting is that we're going to see some kind of a $55,000 to $60,000 Bitcoin by this next halving. So we'll see how that plays out. I told you I might end up having to change my numbers towards the upside, because I wasn't expecting us to really break up above 52 this week. You know, remember last week we were just talking about 50,000's incoming, and we flew right by 50,000 like it was nothing. So imagine what the next week or two is going to bring to us. You know, just imagine. Now, real quick, looking at any of the news articles for today, nothing really to run home and tell mom about. You know, like nothing really too much. Coinbase shares surge after it crushes Wall Street's expectations. I mean, that's awesome, right? I guess that's good. You always want to see these after what we went through 2 years ago with all the exchanges going belly up. That's good, right? You want to see Coinbase. You want to see these good news about the exchanges, right? Because we want only nothing but good news as far as all that stuff. This was kind of funny. K-pop stars. I won't even try to pronounce these people's names, but K-pop stars from deny South Korean scam coin involvement. I don't know what it is. I think it's a lack of knowledge with a lot of these big stars, because we've seen it in America too, where a lot of these stars, I don't think they genuinely know, like, hey, will you promote this crypto coin? We're going to scam the hell out of a bunch of investors, and we want you to kind of be the face of it, right? I don't think a lot of them. Now, you can say some of them, and there's maybe a couple of them, handpick a few of them that maybe might maybe understand a little bit more that it's most likely going to be some kind of a rug pull. But a lot of these, I think a lot of these big artists, they don't really understand what they're getting themselves involved in. And this right here, stories like this, makes it bad for crypto, right? Because you see, you know, that a story like this comes out and people are like, yep, you know, this happens all the time. It's crypto, and it's not crypto. These are bad actors that are taking advantage of the crypto market, right? They're taking advantage of the crypto market, and I feel like they're taking advantage of a lot of these big, celebrities, we'll call them, right? You know, they take advantage of their name, their clout, you know, that they have out there. They're reckoning, how people can, you know, they basically follow a lot of these people, and, you know, they promote one of these coins, or they just put their face on the advertisement on something, and they get paid, you know, $1 million for it, not even knowing what the hell is really going on. And then they end up getting dragged into it. Just like with the FTX, you know, you had like Tom Brady and like all these big stars that were doing commercials for FTX, not probably knowing what was going on behind scenes, right? And it's like, you know, you can be mad at them, but at the end of the day, I believe that a lot of them don't know what the hell is going on, and a lot of them don't really know anything about crypto for the most part. But Tom Brady actually is a big, he's real big on Bitcoin, believe it or not. So let's see here. Jojo said, I share on X. I shared Milady coin and earned your Ledger live chat last night. Oh, thank you so much. You said you shared the video. If you did, bro, I appreciate that, dude. I thank you so much for that. Appreciate that, Jojo. But yeah, so back to like the news today. Honestly, was just nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Let's see here. Gold ETF sees 2.4 billion in outflows while Bitcoin ETFs thrive. You know gold's back there in the background like that damn Bitcoin. Got to figure something out. All those gold maxis, everybody that's like all about gold and silver, which, you know, what's funny is like with me, like with crypto, like let's say I was a Bitcoin maxi and I just was like strictly Bitcoin, I wouldn't hate on gold or silver. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you can see like gold's at like $2,000. It dipped down, I think, on the worst, like in the last few, like last year, like down to like 1,800. But one thing that a lot of the Bitcoin people will say is that, like, you know, gold it doesn't really go up much, right? Maybe if you look at it in the last 10 years, it's had a move. But I mean, for the most part, it doesn't move like Bitcoin, right? But it's a store of value. So a lot of people will put their money in gold knowing that you're only going to get maybe a 1 or 2% gain for the year, but it's going to be steady every year for the most part, and it's it's a secure bet, right? So if you have millions of dollars, a lot of people, this is what they used to do, they'd put it in gold, right? Because, you know, if you have millions of dollars and you're getting a few percent every year, you know, you're getting a few $100,000 off of your investment, and your money is staying secure. It sounds like a win-win. But you have a lot of people for like Bitcoin, and you know, you see the gains if you zoom out on that same time period, what Bitcoin's done, and it's uncomparable, right? It's uncomparable. But for whatever reason, people that are like solely about gold hate Bitcoin, you know, with their life. They hate Bitcoin, and they're like that. Those are the people that are screaming, you know, it's a scam, or it's not real, or whatever they're saying. And you have people that are in crypto just kind of just looking at them like, you know, like, you're old school, bro. Like, it's like you can't even hate on gold, but at the same time, it's like you can't compare, you know, Bitcoin to gold. Now, I do see down the road, like 50 years from now, Bitcoin's gonna like even out, right? If it's at $1 million, if it's at $500,000, who knows? But it's gonna eventually even out to where it's gonna be like gold. The market cap's gonna be so much, you know, so the dips are gonna be very, very small. You know, as far as like if it has some kind of a dramatic move, it's going to be like a 1%, 2% versus right now, dramatic move for Bitcoin will be 5 to 10%. As we start building in that market cap and it gets up to like a 10, $20 trillion market cap, this thing's going to barely see any kind of dips, you know, but at the same time, the move ups will be the same way, where it's not going to be dramatic moves like it is right now. So that's why, you know, it's like, take advantage of the time that we are like alive right now. What a time to be alive, right? You have this awesome thing that's called crypto that came out in our lifetime, and we're able to, you know, invest in it. And we technically are very early in this thing, because think about it, the stock market's been trading for over about 100 years. Crypto's been trading, technically Bitcoin's been out for 15 years, but the first like 4 years, no one even knew how to freaking trade crypto, you know, or Bitcoin, right? And then Ethereum came out, you know, like 3 or 4 years after Bitcoin, you know, and that's really what's kind of started, you know, the trading of crypto. So you really think about it, I would say technically crypto's been trading for about 10 years, you know. So you take that 10 years versus that 100 years the stock market's been out. We're relatively early. We really are. So let's see here. Let's look at, someone asked, what's Jasmy's, I could have sworn I added Jasmy. I didn't add Jasmy to the watch list. Well, you know what, Craig? Today we're officially adding Jasmy to the watch list, guys. Oops, I just added it like 3 times. Hold on a second here. Where did it go? Because I just added it. TradingView's playing tricks on me right now. Do you guys see it? I wonder if like I've hit my max on oh, okay, I added it and then I deleted it. All right. Jasmine's not looking bad, bro. Like I told you, it's not looking bad. Slowly but surely, this thing has been steadily moving up after it broke this 200-day. Obviously, it looked, and then remember I told you it looked great. Bouncing off that 200-day was very bullish, and you can see since it bounced pretty much not exactly on it, but right before that 200-day at around this 45 mark, this thing has really jumped up. Now you can see it's hitting its head on the 236. You see where it's at right now. It's basically, it literally hit its head on the 236, and you can see most likely it's going to sit there and keep knocking on that door until it breaks. But looks great, honestly. Jasmine looks awesome, honestly, right now. One of the better projects that it's looking like for the last few days. Definitely continuing to hold its gains. Now, if we were to see some kind of a retracement, I would say somewhere around this 382, possibly. I don't see that maybe happening, but if for whatever reason it does get rejected at the 236, this 382 right here at around 57 would probably be a spot for it for some solid support before it actually starts taking back off, and it will break this 236. I guarantee it. You're looking at some breaking. I don't know if this is. I don't believe this is all-time highs. Nope, it's not. But you're looking at breaking this local high right here, which is around the 74, very shortly, very soon, I believe. Jasmine looks good. Yeah, Racer. So VThrow is on VeChain's ecosystem, and this thing has been pumping today. We were just looking. Look at this thing, pumping like crazy. We looked on the crypto bubbles and look at VeChain right now is up 26%. So when VeChain is having a solid day, VThrow is gonna have a big day as well. And what I actually was buying in on this project back when it was like at its bottom, and I ended up selling just because it wasn't doing anything, and I ended up using the funds and moved it into a different project, probably like part of it into Milady. But I jumped in on this because VeChain is believe it or not, it's based out of China, right? But it's like a really good ecosystem that's based out of China. And they actually have gotten a lot of approval because there's not a lot of cryptos that are based out of China, right? Well, VeChain has been approved to operate, out of China, and this is one of the biggest projects that come out of Asia. So this thing is a solid project, and the reason why VThrow caught my eye is because the market cap is so relatively small compared to VeChain. VeChain's already, I think, like $1 billion market cap. We'll look it up. Let's look it up. So 31. So yeah, this thing's at like $3.3 billion market cap. So, I was like, damn, I like this project. And I was like, you know what? VThrow is basically trades just like VeChain. I was like, let me jump in on this project. And that's what I did. But I ended up selling. But you can see now that VeChain has had a crazy run, VThrow has been going crazy today. Thank you for bringing that up because I saw that earlier. I was like, I'm going to talk about that later in the stream. So you can see, I mean, this is backed out. This is over a year ago, right? So May of 2023. This is why I ended up selling because look, I mean, it was like not doing anything. You did have these little spurts, but I mean, it was like nothing, right? Nothing. Look how long it sat below its 200-day moving average. I mean, we're back to basically at the end of the bull run 2021. This is the end of 2021 right here, August to December right here. So you can see for almost 3 years this thing literally just sat dormant. And look, this thing just woke up out of nowhere. So a couple things with this I am going to say is I don't know if anybody's invested in it, Alex, or Racer Alec. I don't know if you're invested in this project particularly. Hopefully you bought in before the pump. I will say for right now, let's see here. So you did top out right here at around the 71 mark, and it looks like it's literally making a beautiful bull flag, right? But we're going to see how this plays out. I think we might have a little bit more of a downside. It's probably going to end up coming and meeting up with this 20-day SMA, probably around this area right here at around the 49 before it finds some solid support. It might not even go down to there. I'm just saying if it continues to stay in this channel. So just letting you know so you're prepared. Somewhere around the 49 to 50 mark is where I'm seeing some kind of a bottom out, holding some support. Hopefully that'll keep it very bullish. You can see it's above its 200-day as of now. Had that breakout, and you can see it is forming that beautiful descending triangle, or that bear flag is what I love to call it. So definitely a project. This was probably one of the top gainers for today for sure. So let's see here. Krager said, can you give a look at Akash Network? Yep, I'll check it out. I know the other day this thing was actually, when we looked at the bubbles, it was pumping. Yeah, this thing, look at this. This kind of looks like VeChain's, chart as far as just like making a local high, retracing, finding support, new local high, and going back. This is a natural, beautiful chart right here. Definitely looks great. You can see, and we actually, all right, I didn't even realize we put some support levels here. This was probably back maybe a few weeks ago or a month ago, but you can see it broke through the support and resistance, found some, look where it was bouncing, exactly where I had the lines. That's beautiful. But finally, it found that support and broke out right up here to about the $3.70. And you can see right now it is retracing at around the $3.50. We can see if we can put some kind of a fib retracement. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll take it. Check something else out too. So you can see it obviously as it was moving up, it found some support at this 236 right here around this $3 mark. It wasn't much, but you can see it basically jumped up and bounced right at that $3 mark and was able to really ride this thing up until the top of the fib at around $3.68. For right now, it looks like it is having somewhat of a cool off. For right now, a lot of the charts right now that had a good day today are looking like they're all forming some kind of a bear flag. This one, not so particularly, but I mean, we could actually say and consider this some kind of a bear flag or descending triangle, but it doesn't look like it's like really thin. So I don't know if I would even consider it, but we'll put it down and see how this plays out. But looking at this SMA moving averages, you can see it already broke the 20, the 50. So most likely, hopefully this 100-day SMA will hold somewhere around this $3.45 if it continues to slowly move down. At the end of the day, you have this 200-day that's going to be creeping up as well, most likely catching it on its way down somewhere around that $3.35 mark. It's most likely where it's going to find some support at the 200-day. But even if it retraces something like that, perfectly fine. You can look back and we'll zoom out of the charts. You can see for the most part for this project, it will do moves like that where it'll kind of find some new local highs, find some retracement, where it looks like it's headed back down, finds that support somewhere. Right here was at the 0.5, and you can see it's back up on the races. So as you move, I mean, maybe catching some of these retracement marks, possibly, like I said, somewhere around this $3.35 mark, I would keep an eye at. Or if it breaks that, it might come down to where this $3 mark is. That could be a big spot for some support right there. So we'll see how that plays out. And also, I'm going to put right here too, because we'll come back to this chart. You can see the top of this move right here is at the $3.35 mark, kind of where I said most likely if it does continue to move down, that's probably where it's going to find some support at this 200-day SMA moving average. So we'll definitely stay posted on the next stream, and we'll keep an eye on that for sure. So let's see here. Also a coin called CBK that I have did similar gains. Nice. Yeah, we looked at CBK is Nervo's network, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think that's what we looked at. Swifty today, not really doing too much. Kind of sitting around. You can see, if you see, it's really getting real fine on its price movement, just chopping around. This thing's probably going to end up finding its way somewhere around this spot right here that I said was some support at the 26 before this thing ends up taking off like crazy. Again, small market cap, traded on the Coinbase exchange. So one of the smallest market caps on Coinbase as of right now. So this thing definitely, once that Coinbase effect kicks in, this thing will probably have some kind of a crazy move up. I just think it's going to most likely be short-lived, like shoots up 300, 400%. Catch those gains, because it most likely will retrace back, is what I think. But who knows, right? Small market cap. So, guys, we have breaking news. This is just coming across my board. Breaking news, guys. Gene said he has 100 billion Milady, and he's only going to sell at 4 zeros and a 3. Nice. Good job, Gene. 4 zeros and a 3, bro. 100 billion. You're going to have, that's like $1 million portfolio right there, I think, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken. That's a lot, bro. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys just building up, taking advantage of these dips. I'm definitely trying. I'm trying to catch up to you guys on my bag of Milady. I have a solid bag, but I'm not at that 100 billy yet. I'm approaching it. So eventually I'll get there. But yeah, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and go ahead and end the stream. Tonight wasn't gonna be too long. My daughter's waiting for me. We're gonna go watch a movie and stuff like that. I told her I would watch a movie with her tonight. So, but listen, everything is going good. Everything's perfectly fine. Milady is still holding. We're at the 66 mark. Really, my main focus is Milady, obviously, right? But watching what Bitcoin right now is doing, because we're at the mercy of Bitcoin. And you guys can see we're still at around that 52,000 mark. We've gotten to be where this thing has really just been retested in the 52. We've been technically getting rejected for the last few hours at 52, but I think eventually we're gonna break through, because if this was like on a different year, I would say we'll have to see if 52 keeps rejecting us, guys. We might, but the fact that we're 2 months, not even, we're 6 weeks away from a halving, I'm not too worried. I think we're going to continue to retest at 52, and we're going to wake up probably in the next few days, and same thing like we saw today, yesterday, day before, we're going to break through some of these local highs, still holding that $55,000 to $60,000 halving price for Bitcoin. And you guys know Milady is going to explode as well, so have no fear. Crypto FUD is here. We're all here together, guys. We will make it. I guarantee it. And it's not going to be just Milady, but all your favorite projects, your altcoins, they're all going to eventually start going crazy, but we have to give it time. We have to let Bitcoin do its thing, right? So other than that, guys, I thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys, I know everybody is, but make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you guys hit that like on the way out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, guys. We made it through the week. All right, I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.